Right, so next we need bag B. Can you find that for me, Luke?
I do.
Bag B. Ooh, big one. Right, let's get this open. In here, we've got our chassis rails. And our chassis extension rails, I do believe. I'm not sure. I presume those are extensions, yeah, for the different sizes. Let's put that in there. Wow, I'm looking at these before. These side plates, rails. I expected those to be plastic, they're not. These are metal plates. Quite a bit of weight in there, which is quite surprising. Now it would be nice if this was done in stages, but there's a lot of pieces here and you need to decide for yourself which is the best order. It's a hefty skid plate this, and it's fairly smooth, a lot smoother than some people's. Some manufacturers have got very, very bumpy skid plates. I've just put a glove on for my screwdriver hand, because a build is always going to get you hurty hands and potentially blisters. Now that's interesting, because this piece at the front, it says, well, it's interesting that it's giving the same code. I guess that's when you buy the parts. But this does show like a location pin on this side, and yet there isn't one. So that's a bit peculiar. This front bumper mount is the first piece of plastic so far in this kit that I've not been very impressed with. Seems a bit squidgy. It's not made out of the same stuff. Not from what I can feel anyway. Now, there is a bit of an error here in the picture, because we've got countersunk screws here. There is clearly one longer than another, and yet they're all supposed to be the same size. But there's a little tiddly one drawn on here, and there aren't any, so that's clearly just an error. Right, so we've got these long grub screws here that are going in to one of the holes on the shock mount. going right through here. They're as long a grub screw as I have ever seen. Right, so at the back we've got this extension piece that's going on there. That's the second hole. We've got this rear mount, rear strut. And wow, it's 4 things to line up, so this is tricky. The only thing I don't like about that is when you've got more than 2 pieces, in fact often when you've got 2 pieces, if they're not somehow forced together properly or snug, then it's hard to get any tension on you. Now this is another rear bumper mount that's got these on the inside, like all the Charisma ones have these, and I still don't really know what they're for. I don't know. If anyone knows, leave us a comment. Right, bag C1. Links. Everyone's favourite bit. So, very light aluminium rods. Put them into. It's nice and easy. Screw those in. Okay, and one in the other end as well. Now I have to say, after the great quality so far, these ball ends are absolute rubbish. The holes in them aren't big enough. So when you're trying to put this M4 screw into these ball ends, there's too much plastic in the ball end, and so you can't actually get a proper grip, so it just starts shredding itself. Now I tried them one way around, I tried them the other way around, and it was still no good. So what I've done now, I've got a tap set for making holes, making machined holes. Now, even trying to use the M4 tap in these straight away was really, really hard. So what I've actually just done with one is I've done it with M3 first, and then tapped in with M4, and then put it onto the rod. So it's a real shame that that's a major flaw so far in this kit. The ball ends are just, or the rod ends I should say, just rubbish. All this is from one rod end. Now that's ludicrous. They're not the right size. So Hobbytech, if you do watch this, you need to get a new supplier or a new mould for your rod ends, because they're just rubbish. Now, if you're not familiar with a tap set, it's basically just like it's like a screw, but it's got a gap down each side for the loose pieces of material to go into, so it can actually cut through. Exactly what can't happen when you're just trying to put your rod end onto your rod. The plastic's got nowhere to go, so it just backs up and then strips all the thread that was going the right way. Right, those rods are done. All I need to do is make sure that they are straight to each other. Sadly, this doesn't actually tell you which one goes where. So I guess we might have to just, well, guess. The picture looks like the front ones are slightly longer. Let's have a look. So that's going to the front of the shock tower. And from here, that goes to the back of that shock tower, so that would seem to make sense. Right, so it's long ones on the back. So I've just noticed a really, really good thing in these instructions. On these links, the upper links, we've clearly got a longer one, which has got two straight rod ends, and a shorter one, which has got a straight rod end and a curved rod end. But then you look at the measurements, and it says that the shorter one is longer than the long one. So which way round is it? And then when you actually go to the diagram to see where to put them, it's basically impossible to tell which one goes where anyway. So yes, the instructions leave something to be desired. So I'll try and figure it out for you. So, going off the fact that the longer links will go with the longer links, which should be the rear ones, and the fact that just about on the diagram we can see that we've not got this reinforcement ridge that's on all the rod ends, I'd say that the measurements are the wrong way around on that previous step. So I'm going to put these ones with the bent ones pointing down at the front. Right, then it's onto the shocks, these wolf shocks. So I'm going to get rid of all this plastic, because what I don't want is a load of bits of plastic getting inside my shocks. I've not got a shock stand, so don't want this all in the way. So I'm just going to clear my workspace. Always good practice, if you've got debris on your workspace, get it clear. Whatever it is, if you brought a mucky truck in, once you start working you get a load of muck coming off. Look, this shows just how much came out of those ball ends. Brilliant.